All right, let's go to the AFC Championship game here. Ravens versus Patriots. All right, Adam, give me the Baltimore offense.
Well, if you looked at what happened last week, though, I mean, after Joe Flacco had a couple easy touchdown passes after starting out the great field position, they really just hit a thud. Even though Houston's defense is one of the best in the league, and yeah, they gave the ball to Ray Rice 21 times for 60 yards, so it keeps their undefeated streak alive, or every time Ray Rice has rushed for over 18 carries a game. They're 12-0 now as a team. But Joe Flacco, it's like Ed Reed said, you know, it might not be the thing you want to say on the air, but he's right, though, because Joe Flacco has played 8 postseason games. He's won 5 of them, but the Ravens have seemed to have won them in spite of Joe Flacco. And if you look at the last time the Ravens played the Patriots 2 years ago, the Ravens destroyed the Patriots. But you know what Flacco's numbers were in that game? He was 4 of 10 for 34 yards. That can hardly get it done. He's got a career completion percentage of 53% in those 8 playoff games. So he has to step his game up. He, of course, has the capability of doing so. And, of course, the Patriots' defense isn't quite as good as what Baltimore's brings to the table. But they're going to have to establish the run with Ray Rice. And I know New England is going to be keying in on him, too. They're going to make Joe Flacco beat him. And how well Joe Flacco can make those throws in tight coverage is going to be the difference between the Ravens winning or losing this game.
Ted, how about the Pats D?
I'm going to go the opposite with you, as opposed to the, Packers trying to stop Ray Rice and kind of making Joe Flacco beat him, because I think the Ravens are at their best when they throw over the top and get big plays. I think that's Joe Flacco's best throw.
Mm-hmm.
Now, what Houston did so well, we talked about this earlier, was they put their best corner on Torrey Smith. And he kind of locked him down, kept him out of the game. They let Anquan Bolden get the stuff over the middle. They let, Dixon catch things over the middle, even though the tight ends are pretty locked up too. But they, kind of allowed the underneath stuff. Patriots don't have a lockdown corner that could do that to Torrey Smith. So I think they're going to play safety over the top. That's going to leave a lot on Vince Wilfork and Rob Ninkovich, the linebacker behind him. Those two are going to have to try to control Ray Rice without a ton of safety help. Because I think priority number 1 needs to be take away that big play and make the Ravens sustain drives. If you play a little bit back like that, sure, you might give up 8-9 yard runs to Ray Rice. But I think with Baltimore, you make him sustain drives because every play is another chance for Joe Flacco to misfire on a pass, low pass percentage, throw an interception, do things like that. And the Patriots, I think they could score on anyone. So I think in that sense, you want to slow them down, you want to make them sustain drives where they can make more mistakes, and then, do what you do on offense.
Speaking of the offense, you say that nobody can stop. Is that true?
Well, the Patriots haven't really played a team. The Giants are probably the best team they've played all season long. And they haven't beaten a team with a winning record all season either. But Baltimore, Ed Reed's health, though, I think is a major question this game. He came out after that interception late in the game against Houston, a little banged up.
He says he'll be fine.
He says he'll be fine. He's a gamer, of course. We all know that. But his neck injuries have been nagging him for years now. And you wonder just how much he has left in the tank. Of course, Ray Lewis is still Ray Lewis. But still, this is basically the last window of opportunity for Baltimore to win the Super Bowl. And then you've got a Patriots offense who's got the 2 best tight ends in football. Heck, one of them's so good they used him as their leading rusher last week against Denver, and Aaron Hernandez. So you can't stop both tight ends at the same time. That's the biggest challenge Baltimore has, because Brady looks at those tight ends first more than any other quarterback does their tight ends. And then you've got guys like Welker out there who can just catch those little short passes and turn them into 15-yard gains. And then, of course, it helps you got your 3 deep at running back as well. So he's got so many weapons to go to. It's going to be awfully difficult for the Ravens to key in on all these weapons.
Are you worried about the protection for Brady?
If this was a past Baltimore team, I would be. But their sack numbers are way down this year. And that is something to really keep an eye out for. Is they beat Brady last year because of the pass rush. And they were able to put on him. And they haven't done that this year. Their run defense has been pretty solid, but they haven't gotten to the quarterback. And if Terrell Suggs and Ray Lewis and the like can't get to him, then Brady's just going to shred him and tear him apart.
How many sacks did Baltimore have against Houston last week? That many. 0.
Mhm.
How many sacks did the Patriots allow to a pretty decent pass rush for Denver?
None.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I think they could protect pretty well. And you got a quick, tricky guy. Going to Baltimore's defense, he brought up Ed Reed. That's got to be my guy. Ed Reed, of course, working through these injuries, but this guy's one of the great game changers of all time. He's played in 10 playoff games. He has 8 interceptions, including the one that sealed the game against T.J. Yates. Now, Tom Brady won't be as easy to bait as a first-year starter.
Well, no.
At all. So you have that.
Terrible.
You have Ed Reed. I think his ability to help out on those tight ends, to try to step in front of passes, to hit, because those guys are going to hold on to the ball. So you really got to get into a point where you could either break up the ball before it gets there. You know, he's got such great closing speed, but he's got to be the guy who helps on those tight ends because Suggs, Ray Lewis getting a little older, still one of the greatest linebackers of all time, not a great cover guy, never has been.
Mm-hmm.
He gets some interceptions here and there, never been a great cover guy. Terrell Suggs, great pass rusher, not a great cover guy. They'll bring in Brendan Ayabadejo to play a lot of linebacker. He's their best cover guy, but your best cover guy is not going to be able to cover, Gronkowski and Hernandez. So it's going to be up to Ed Reed and his help defense on whoever, is locked up on those 2 tight ends.
What I think is difficult for Baltimore is that, with the exception of Ray Rice, their best offense is a great defense, right? They force turnovers, they turn them into points.
Mm-hmm.
Against Brady and this crew, that's going to be really, really difficult. The coaching's too good, the quarterback's too good, the scheming's too good. It's going to be very difficult to force turnovers and turn them into points or easy red zone opportunities for Ray Rice. I think that presents a pretty big matchup problem. On the other side of the ball, for Brady, I rewatched that 2010 game, and what you saw more than anything else that stuck out was, and this is not abnormal for that offense, but they went to the hurry-up. Because a defense that's as strong as Baltimore, you want to find a way to catch them off guard and not let them
Substitute. Get fresh.
all the things that hurry up does for you. I would expect to see a lot of this game. No huddle, hurry up offense by the Patriots, moving down the field pass. Baltimore will probably, at the end of this game, and I'll let the cat out of the bag that I think the Patriots are going to win this game, right? But I think that once the win is over, we're going to look at these stats and we're going to see, oh, wow, Baltimore had a higher time of possession. They had the ball more in this game. It doesn't matter because the Patriots are going to score touchdowns that quickly, even against this defense. That's what I think is going to happen because that's what they're going to game plan to do. I also don't, if if Ed Reed is 60%, 70%, that's not good either. He probably won't be 100. But I think a big key is Haloti Ngata because the teams that beat the Patriots are the teams that get to Tom Brady.
Sure, especially up the middle, too, because that's the one spot where quarterbacks hate pressure the most, is up the middle because they cannot step up in the pocket and force them to go sideways.
Tom Brady has no mobility, too,
Exactly.
so that's where the pressure coming up the middle.
Although he is very mobile in the pocket,
Yeah,
though.
he steps
Very
up
good
and he
footwork.
moves to the side, he sidesteps, he does that stuff, but if the pressure's coming up the middle,
Sure, he can't run away.
all you can do is backpedal, and that's not a good thing to do.
I mean, you rarely see it, but when Tom Brady is beat, it's because of a pass rush, right? It's because they're sacking him. You just don't see it very often because the Patriots rarely lose. But that's sort of where we are on this one. So, who's going to win?
I think what it comes down to is Joe Flacco is not going to be able to match pound for pound with Tom Brady on offense scoring points. I think New England's offense is going to be too much. As Baltimore's defense will keep him in the game maybe for a half, but ultimately they're going to force Joe Flacco to make plays that I don't think he's capable of making at this stage in his career. I think the Patriots are going to win this one, pulling away in the second half.
Ocho Cinco, obviously on Twitter, he's not a guy who's making a lot of plays this year. He's kind of
I did not
irrelevant in
expect the
passing
first
game.
word out of your mouth to be Ocho Cinco.
Right, the guy's on Twitter, right? And going into New England, coming from Cincinnati, and maybe the regime wasn't as tight as it is there. He talked about how Tom Brady's focus is something to marvel at, the way he goes about his things. When this playoff started, he started saying like, I've been walking up to Tom Brady, go, dude, is something wrong with you? Because he is that laser focused,
Yeah.
and we saw what he did against Denver. Denver's not that bad of a defense for him to do what he did. I think the Patriots win, and I don't think it's close. I think it's a blowout.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would agree.
Yeah.
I mean, as I said, Brady turns. I mean, Denver's a good defense.
Yeah.
You guys would agree that Denver's a good defense.
With a good pass rush.
I mean,
that got 0 sacks.
He
on
hung
Tom Brady.
45 points on them. I mean, and he'll probably score 35 on Baltimore.
And it was heartless and soulless. It was just, the guy was a machine.
Oh yeah, he's
Cold-blooded.
Yeah. And so the only way to do it would be to find a way to score that many points, right?
Yeah.
And listen, the Patriots are a terrible defensive team, although they're pretty good in the red zone, which is something
I think
to look
sooner
at.
or later, though, it's going to
But-
come back to get them, though. Sooner or later it will, because, I mean, you just can't be this bad on defense and just expect to win championships.
Maybe against the Giants or the 49ers, but against Baltimore,
against
I just don't think
Baltimore,
they have
yeah.
enough ways to beat you.